Have you ever walked through an ancient Irish ruin and felt a chill, as if someone was watching? What if I told you some of those feelings are based on true stories? Welcome, fellow history and mystery lovers. Today, we're journeying to the Emerald Isle, a land steeped in folklore, where the veil between our world and the next is famously thin. We're not just talking about leprechauns and fairies today. We're diving into documented, real-life accounts of supernatural encounters that have puzzled and terrified people for centuries. From phantom castles that appear in the mist to wailing spirits that foretell doom, Ireland's history is filled with tales that defy easy explanation. So, grab a warm drink, settle in, and let us explore the stories that suggest some of Ireland's oldest legends are more than just myths. Our first tale takes us to County Offaly and the foreboding Leap Castle. Often called the most haunted castle in the world, its history is soaked in betrayal and bloodshed. But one spirit stands out, the elemental. Unlike a typical ghost of a deceased person, this entity is described as a primal, non-human force. The first documented modern encounter was in the early 20th century by Mildred Darby, the lady of the castle. She described practicing automatic writing when she was overcome by a horrifying presence. She saw a hunched, gray creature with a decomposing face and the smell of a rotting corpse. It wasn't just her. Visitors for over a century have reported the same terrifying apparition, accompanied by that same putrid smell. What's chilling is the consistency of the accounts. People who know nothing of the castle's lore describe the exact same entity. Is it a guardian spirit or something more sinister drawn to the castle's violent past? The locals have their own theories, believing it was summoned by ancient druids long before the castle was even built. The mystery of the elemental remains one of Ireland's most terrifying and unsolved supernatural cases. Next, we journey to the rugged coast of County Antrim, to the magnificent ruin of Dunluce Castle. Perched precariously on a cliff edge, this castle has a tragic story that echoes through time. In the 1630s, the castle was home to the MacDonald clan. One stormy night, while the family was hosting a grand feast, a section of the castle kitchens collapsed and plunged into the churning sea below, taking the staff with it. Only a single kitchen boy, who was sitting in a corner away from the main area, survived. Ever since that fateful night, visitors and locals have reported hearing phantom screams and cries for help coming from the empty air where the kitchens once stood, especially on stormy nights. Some have even seen ghostly figures moving around the ruins, reenacting their final, terrifying moments. Archaeologists working on the site have reported tools being moved, and an overwhelming sense of sadness in that specific area. It's as if the sheer trauma of the event left a permanent scar on the location, a spectral replay of a tragedy that the castle itself can't forget. Our third story is perhaps one of the most famous Irish legends of all, the Banshee. This isn't just a generic spooky tale. For centuries, prominent Irish families reported personal encounters with this harbinger of death. The Banshee, meaning woman of the fairy mound, is a female spirit whose mournful cry, or keening, is said to foretell the death of a family member. One of the most well-documented accounts comes from the 17th century, recorded by Lady Anne Fanshawe while staying with a friend, Lady Honor O'Brien, at a castle in County Clare. She was awoken one night by a ghastly, wailing voice from outside her window. Looking out, she saw the ethereal figure of a pale woman with red hair, wailing and wringing her hands before vanishing. Terrified, she told her host the next morning, only to be informed that the wail she heard was the family's personal banshee. A courier arrived later that day with news that a cousin, who was far away, had died at the exact moment Lady Fanshawe heard the cry. These accounts aren't confined to the distant past. Even into the 20th century, people have reported hearing the unmistakable, sorrowful wail just before learning of a loved one's passing. Is it mass hysteria, a trick of the wind, or a genuine supernatural warning? Let us now travel to the city of Dublin and a place you might not expect to be haunted. A library, Marsh's Library, founded in 1707, is a beautifully preserved scholar's paradise. But it holds a sad secret. The library's founder, Archbishop Narcissus Marsh, had a beloved niece named Grace. Grace was raised by the Archbishop, but she fell in love with a sea captain he disapproved of. Desperate, she eloped, leaving only a note for her uncle tucked inside one of the library's thousands of books, begging for his forgiveness. The Archbishop was heartbroken and spent the rest of his life searching for the note and his lost niece. He never found either. To this day, staff and visitors report seeing the ghostly figure of an old man in clerical robes, gently pulling books from shelves, looking through them, and then carefully replacing them. He never causes any trouble. He just seems to be searching endlessly. The feeling reported is not one of fear, but of profound sadness and longing. It's as if the Archbishop's spirit is trapped by his grief, forever combing through his life's work for the one message that might have brought him peace. Our final story takes us to the windswept Aran Islands, off the coast of County Galway, and the legend of the Phantom Island of High Brassel. This isn't a ghost story, but a tale of a disappearing land. For centuries, High Brassel appeared on maps west of Ireland. It was said to be a paradise, shrouded in mist, that only became visible for one day every 7 years. Numerous sailors and explorers claim to have seen it, and some even claim to have landed there, describing a technologically advanced and peaceful civilization. The most famous account comes from Captain John Nisbet in 1674. He and his crew claimed they landed on the island, spent a day with its inhabitants, and returned with silver and gold. For centuries, cartographers included it on their maps based on these consistent sightings. Then, as navigation and mapping became more precise in the 19th century, High Brassel vanished from the maps, dismissed as a myth or an optical illusion. Yet the question remains, how could so many different people across so many centuries report seeing the same island in the same location? Was it a mass hallucination, a strange atmospheric phenomenon like a Fata Morgana, or was there truly a mystical island that existed just beyond our perception? The legend of High Brassel blurs the line between myth, history, and the unexplained. From a wailing banshee to a heartbroken archbishop, these stories are woven into the very fabric of Ireland. They are more than just campfire tales. They are historical accounts, passed down through generations, that make you wonder about the world beyond what we can see. Can a place be so saturated with emotion that it holds onto an echo of the past? Could ancient forces exist that we simply don't understand? What do you think? Have you ever had an experience you couldn't explain while visiting an old, historic place? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your own stories and theories. If you found yourself captivated by these chilling tales from the Emerald Isle, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more journeys into the world that's most fascinating and mysterious histories. Thanks for watching and stay curious.